guys. Hey everybody, I'm Leah Lauder and I'm a mega church cult survivor, and I spent 18 years in a mega church cult, and now I'm on here and I'm speaking to all you lovely people and I expose church cults. I just want to let you know that I'm on live the same damn time as TikTok because I'm a boss. I'm a boss. And today my topic is going to be Caris. I'm going to be exposing the hell out of Caris, letting it rip. Also TikTokers, at a point I may come off TikTok so that I could just be on YouTube and let it absolutely rip. So get ready. My YouTube channel is Leah Lauder 777. So get ready to jump over there, guys, just in case I have to come off here, because if there's another warning or whatever, we're going to be doing up YouTube. All right, everybody. So what I was talking about was the elitist Ghanaian megachurch cult structure. Okay. The elitist Ghanaian megachurch cult structure. And I was explaining that there's not been many men that have risen up out of Ghana to make like worldwide impact. Obviously, no one really knows Dag Mills. They tried to say that he was making me relevant, but it looks like I've been making him relevant on social media, child. Because all he's got going on is that unalived flow prayer on YouTube that absolutely no one watches apart from the people them in the South Sealand system, child. Because Dag, you've got almost 300,000 subscribers, but you only get 10k, 4k, 2k views. Do you know what I mean? I've got about 300 subscribers. We're getting the same views on some of the videos, baby. So it's just only those in the South Sealand system. So in Ghana, we've had Archbishop Duncan Williams, and he is like the main, and I need to do some content on this, but they all worship him. They all kiss his ass. So Dag Mills, David Antry, they all worship Archbishop Duncan Williams, and he is your typical textbook. He's like, I would go as far as to say Archbishop Duncan Williams is almost like the black Benny Hinn. That's how much he's revered and worshipped in Ghana. And then he was able, what Archbishop Duncan Williams has got is like a crossover Americanized appeal. So you know that they love that, the prosperity teaching gospel and the Lord Jesus Christ, very charismatic. Archbishop Duncan Williams is your textbook cult leader. He's extremely, people were asking me, oh, what is charisma? Is it when they're like, go and look at Archbishop Duncan Williams, because that is charismatism to like the top level. What I want to say is, just quickly before I start exposing the hell out of Caris to the point where everyone's going to start watching this video and sharing, and please do share the video, please do repost it, because they love to report my content and get it taken down. So we need to repost and share. So basically, this is some tea actually. So what happens is with these cults, when anyone speaks out or a pastor leaves, but no one's spoken out before, they haven't had this happen, so they don't know how to manage it. So they're just having to ride on the tide. So anyway, whenever there's like some sort of attack, because that's what they think it is, that's what they call it, attack on the church or whatever, yeah. Basically, they'll call in like a pastor to strengthen the church cult. Yeah, it's a doctrine by Dag. Again, this isn't really, I don't think it's in any books, but you just had to have been in the system. So what I've seen recently when I've been preying First Love is that they're having some special, I don't know if it's an encounter service or something with Archbishop Duncan Williams. So they think bringing in this great man of God, you know what I mean? Like Archbishop, he's going to come and save the day. He's going to come and save the church. So I'm getting ready to do some content on him, because the Archbishop Duncan Williams is an absolute mess. And there's been so many controversies surrounding him that I think I need to pull it up and revive it. So anyway, today the main point and topic of conversation is going to be Caris. I'm going to be exposing the relationship and the link and the ties that Caris and First Love have, because I think it's very important for people to know. I'm doing a live session on TikTok and YouTube at the same damn time, and then I'm going to be doing some content on it later. So basically, the highest echelons of the Ghanaian elitist megachurch health, wealth, prosperity teaching vibe, you've got Archbishop Duncan Williams at the top. There is no one. No one comes above, no one comes below Archbishop Duncan Williams. And every Ghanaian pastor will give reference to him. Do you know what I mean? If he's from Ghana, and they'll know who Archbishop Duncan Williams is. So catch the tea. My cult leader, Dag Mills, went to, what's Archbishop Duncan Williams' church called again? I think it's Calvary Road Chapel? Or is it Action Chapel? It's got chapel in it, and I can't remember, but it's one of those names. So my cult leader started off as like a little drummer, because he's a musician as well. Dag can do everything. He's an author, he's a songwriter, he's a singer. He's a keyboardist, he's a drummer, he's an evangelist. What else is Dag? He's a pastor, he's a prophet. Dag is everything. Do you know what? Dag, whatever Jesus had going on, yeah, the anointing and all the things he could do, I mean, Dag supersedes it. Blasphemy. Dag thinks he's a god. So anyway, let's get back onto the topic of conversation. Put a record on. So we've got Archbishop Duncan Williams, that he went to his church and he was doing up being a member, yeah. But catch the tea, my cult leader, he's notoriously known, well, in his own little world, because no one knows who the hell Dag is, child. These cult leaders have grandiose images of themselves and ideologies, and they're just absolutely delulu. So Dag has this doctrine, and he talks a lot about loyalty and disloyalty. Yeah, so he says that you should never leave the church. You're in it for life. He talks about marital commitment, fair weather commitment. Caris, are you learning? Get ready to take your notes like you do in church. Hurry along, because I'm going to teach you where all the doctrine comes from, my love. So whenever they're talking about loyalty and disloyalty, and they're talking about fair weather, you need marital commitment. You need to be married to the church. You need to be. That comes from us, babe, from Daddy, Dag Mills. So what I'm going to do, being a real spiritual daughter of the house, is I'm going to expose the link between Caris and Dag Mills through the doctrine. And that's all I need to do, quite simply. What other girls were getting their backs blown out in the church cult, like these girls that were coming on the live yesterday. Are you here? Are you here, ladies? A lot of them just go there. They're just going there for the D, really, and the man them. Do you know what I mean? They don't care about God, not one bit. That's why they all go there in their tight peplum dresses and doing up whatever they're doing. They're going to look for the man them. I was actually seeking and searching the scriptures. I was really trying to find God. So I know that scripture inside and out, even though I ain't been in that cult for years. Child, it is embedded in my veins. Lucky for us, unlucky for you, Caris. Caris. Oh my gosh, I'm going to give you guys a nickname. Caris. That's what I'm going to call them. Caris. So anyway, my cult leader teaches on this loyalty and disloyalty. It's like the main doctrine that he teaches in the church cult. And that is really, do you know what I'm going to say this is? It's part of the Thought Reform program, and it leads into the transcendent belief system. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like loyalty is to the higher authority. Oh yeah, Dag Mills is the absolute, I mean, he's the goat of it. That's what I'm saying. Like David Antry's David Antry's a little boy in the mega church, Sophia. This is why I'm telling you the history, so Caris can know the pecking order as well. Because baby, there's no difference between me and David, babes. We're both hard followers. That's why Caris is getting taken down. It's quite simple, actually. So he preaches on this loyalty and disloyalty, my cult leader, Dag Mills, yeah? And then he will be going on and on and on, talking about you can't leave the church, you're disloyal, you're Lucifer, you're devil, you're Absalom, you're this. They literally ingrain it in our heads so that we will not leave the church cult. That's the first thing. But catch the tea, when he was attending Archbishop Duncan Williams' church, he actually left. So he's telling everyone not to leave his church, but he left Archbishop Duncan Williams' church. And catch the tea, there was beef. So basically something went down, but you know, Dag, he's so sly. He weren't going into it. But the thing is, he has like authorized men of God that he's obsessed with. Caris, David Antry has that too. Archbishop Duncan Williams and Dag. So do you see the pecking order? My cult leader, Dag, is obsessed with the Kenneth E. Hagins, the Benny Hinns. Do you get me? Archbishop Duncan Williams and Dag does up fake humility with Archbishop Duncan Williams, because really in his heart he HATs him, but he loves him at the same time. It's a very unhealthy father-son relationship, very similar to his father and son relationship dynamic with his dad, who rejected him, didn't feel like he loved him. So the only reason why Archbishop Duncan Williams is even human fecal mattering on Dag Heward is because he's gone out into the world now, and he's been able to build loads of mega churches. He's got 3,000 worldwide. Thank you, my love. He's got 3,000 churches worldwide. He's got over 200 buildings, and I will be eating because it's ghetto tube and it's ghetto talk, and I'm not gonna not eat because I'm on a live. What are you talking about? I hate when they think skinny girls don't eat. Like, babe, I know I look good, but I be eating outside. Girls, you must be hating. Almost 40 I am, with 2 children. Almost 40. You little Caris gal, them. You lot are a bag of haters. Gotta make sure I come on good when you lot are on here. So anyway, you lot must be tapping at that screen, getting angry. It's still on. We still here, baby. I live for this. All right, let's get into it. So what was I saying? Yeah. So Archbishop Duncan Williams is like absolutely worshipped, but him and Dag had beef historically, yeah. So he didn't teach us to worship Archbishop Duncan Williams the same way we're taught to worship Kenneth E. Hagin. That's a guy that he's really obsessed with, and Benny Hinn. Like, he never encouraged us to read Archbishop Duncan Williams' books. He never encouraged us to watch the preaching, because with these cults, it's very elitist, and they'll be telling you like what to watch, what to read. Like they'll be like almost like textbook authors or pastors or music that you can listen to. Caris, ring, 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 ring. Is it ringing a bell? Ding dong, ding dong. That's why so many people are leaving. That's why so many people are leaving, because you're my cousins. I don't even need anyone from Caris to even come forward. You know what I mean? I can just finish it by myself on my own, because me and David are the same. He's a hard follower like me. The difference is why I don't have a big time ministry or people that see me. Because babes, if I started doing up what I was doing up back in 2008 and 2009, you would know me just like the rest of these fake prophetesses that you see outside in these mega church streets. You would have been, because there's no one that can do mega church more than me. Not my voice, not my singing voice, not my preaching, not my intellect, not my understanding of the word. With my like, no one could touch me, babe. If I was to be doing up mega church, no one could touch me. That's why God took me out, to use me for this purpose, because he uses his best, and he needed to do that for this reason. Yeah, just so y'all hoes know. All right, so Archbishop Duncan Williams and Dag Heward-Mills had a very similar relationship to how Dag is with his dad, because obviously, you know, his dad was a lawyer, wanted Dag to continue being a lawyer. So all Dag's cousins, everything, they're all into law. So he was seen as like is it disloyal, maybe rebellious son, by going and doing medicine, because you know them African parents, they can be very strict. And remember, Dag's like a baby bloomer. He's like born way back. Do you know what I mean? So his dad was proper old school. So I believe that he would have been brought up in a very disciplinarian environment, because he runs the church like an army. And similarly, but David Antry's a nerd. So Caris they're not like an army like how Dag is, because David's not as masculine as Dag. David Antry gives off like LGBTQ plus vibes. He likes to wear these floral shirts, these, you know, it's he's very camp in his mannerisms and the way he dresses and acts. That's just my opinion, and I can have an opinion. I mean, I care. How about that? But Dag Heward-Mills is very misogynist. He's very patriarchal. He's very like man. David's not like that. David's like a gal. So there's a difference in like the culture and the way they do things. So I wouldn't describe Caris as being like an army. I just describe them as being a beg, because that's what David's done with my cult. So you lot are following him. So you lot have become begs. Yeah. So basically, yeah, so that relationship with Dag, he forms these weird obsessive relationships with men of God, because he felt rejected by his dad. Do you know what I mean? He's told loads of stories. Like one time, I'll never forget this time, Dag was coming to preach here, and basically what he used to make us do, and OGs, please put in the comments if you remember this, do you know what I mean, so that we can have the receipts in the comments. Oh, hi, Mr. Miyagi. Oh, you called me a sweet one. You little hating trolls from Caris. Look, the man them are always coming on and showing your girl love. You lot wish you had that. You lot wish you had that, child. Thank you so much, King. I appreciate you, baby. I appreciate you, babe. So yeah, so Dag Heward-Mills, he used to come and he used to preach, and he used to tell us like once a year to like save all our coins and then like bring these coins to like this service. Yeah, so people would like collect these coins for like a year. They'd have like really huge water bottles, you know, like hi Mariko. Oh, it's King Congo. Hey King. Hi my love. You'd have like, you know, them bottles, you know, like when it's like a, you know, oh, you know that you get in work when you're trying, and then it's the big massive water bottles, and then you does anyone know if she's out? If who's out, Tony? If who's out? Tony who? That's my sister. Big up Sunshine in the cup. So long story short, they were all coming with all their pennies, coming with their coins. Yeah. I'm going to get the vanity tables. I'm waiting for the shop to open. They came with all their pennies, all their coins, everything. And then, do you know what Dag started saying? Because remember, when they have daddy issues and they have like wounded masculine or feminine energy, they get like PTSD. So that's how you know that someone has trauma. Do you understand? So for example, I might be talking to a survivor and they might be saying, oh yeah, Leah, because you know what? I really love like that blue hat. And then I'll be like, oh, blue hats. I remember when we had to wear blue hats for the camp. And I didn't sleep for 5 days. And, you know, there was a girl that, do you know what I mean? It's like you'll get like a flashback. It's like a sign of PTSD. And then there'll be like that memory that you'll get that is traumatic. So with Dag, does anyone know if who's out, Tony? I don't know who's out. If she's out, who, babe? Put the name. So when people were walking up with the coins, Dag's now said, oh, I remember before my dad unalived, he said to me, basically, that he wanted him to do like law, but he chose to do medicine. And then when he went to tell his dad that oh me, oh okay, all right, yeah. I'm in Lakeside. So when he went to go and tell his dad that he was doing medicine, obviously he was angry with him because he wanted him to follow in the family business in law. That's why Dag thinks he's an elitist, because his dad's black, Ghanaian, but his dad's got money because he has like a chamber. He's had like a law firm since I think it's like the 1800s or something, because I went to go and pre on the website. So they do have old historical African money. So he does come from money. That's my point. That's why he's an elitist. Do you understand? He doesn't understand poverty. He doesn't understand like issues of normal people. Do you get it? So it's given that very dystopian kind of vibe. So anyway, when he told his dad, oh, he wants to become a pastor, the dad turned around and said to him, basically that he didn't want his son to do that because he's a beggar. He said he didn't want his son to be a beggar. Lord Jesus Christ. I'll never forget it, child. I will never. People are coming up with coins to give to put on the altar for the Lord Jesus Christ. And this ninja turns around and says, oh yeah, I remember when I told my dad that I was to be a pastor, and he said that you'll be a beggar, and here I am collecting the coins, but I don't mind. And then he started talking about with these same coins he paid for London Apache. There's no mortgage. Yeah, because you've been stealing all our money. No one could. Then he discourages people from getting a mortgage. So it's like we shouldn't be getting a mortgage, and then you're paying off for everything in the church because it's all our money. All our money we would have saved towards a deposit is going into the church. These men of God are liars and thieves. As I said to you, it's ghetto tube and it's ghetto talk. I'm on the move, so I'm going to be eating my breakfast. Anyway, I don't know why people are so fake on the net. Why do people come and sit? Like, what's her name? Is it Anne Marie? What's the YouTuber that was chatting about me the other day? These fake clothes, like, coming with their $1,000 wigs, like their little sets. That ain't gonna survive past 2024, babes. It's only the Christians. That's why all of these fake gal them like Nikita. You know what? You see all you Caris gal them, yeah? That's what I'm saying. You don't need to stay in there, man. You're a friggin' you're detrimental to society, you haters. So you gal them that go to Caris, you lot are a bag of haters, man. And you lot hate on pretty girls that are in there as well. Loads of pretty girls have come forward talking about you lot. That hosting team that they got in Caris is a jungle. The girls are sleeping with all the guys. They're talking behind all of the other girls' backs. Do you know what I mean? It's a mess. Caris is a mess. King Congo said begging for tithes on the YouTube. Guys, like up the live. If I don't see it get to 20k in 4 minutes, if I check the time at 10:20 and we're not past 20k, I'm going. I'm just going to stay on YouTube. So if that happens, it's Leah Lauder 777 on YouTube. All right, so what was I saying? So now they've come up, they've bought the coins here. Then Dag starts talking about how his dad never got to see the like what he built with the mega church cult. It's like it's turning into a therapy session. Why the hell am I sitting there? Thanks, Queen Ange. Why the hell am I sitting there listening to my pastor, bishop, prophet, daddy, Zaddy, the one, the greatness, God's servant? Why am I sitting there listening to him talk? Why am I hearing about your trauma, babe? But we're all kids in there. I was probably about 22, 23. What the hell did I know? What the hell do you know at 23, eh? You think you know everything, that you think you're a big woman, boy. Caris, your little gal, them. You don't think you're big people, innit? The Caris gal, them are funny. You lot are funny, man. Ooh, you lot are a bag of bullies. That's what you are. That's why you love it in there. You love that toxic environment. So anyway, I was getting into all of that to just show you that's why Dag has very dysfunctional relationships with the men of God, his spiritual fathers. So like with Kenneth E. Hagin, it's just obsessive. Oh my God, you lot, we were taught. Sorry. We were taught to worship Kenneth E. Hagin. Like he would tell us his books are exactly like his. It's his spiritual father. So we were reading and watching Kenneth E. Hagin. Like, so for example, in the cult, if you came with like a Kenneth E. Hagin book, it's like, ooh, you're spiritual. So I had the Kenneth E. Hagin library of books and Derek Prince and Robert Slyden. Everyone in Lighthouse, First Love, Mustard Seed, whatever, they will have Kenneth E. Hagin books outside of Dag's library. Everyone will have the Macarius because that's like, it's compulsory. And then there'll be like 30 pastors that you can watch and read about, because remember, you're in a self-sealing system, so the pastor has to reinforce the doctrine. They can't have you out there listening to Tom, Dick and Harry, because then you're going to get enlightened and you're going to think, oh, actually what they're doing is a bit weird. I'm not sure about this. Oh yeah, oh my God, Billy Graham was another one. And what's that other one that used to do the crusades? Was that Billy Graham? So first lovers, especially if you've been going for a little bit, please do watch out for this. Oh, thanks for the follow, girl. I always get encouraged when people follow me. Oh, this is lovely. What's everyone saying on YouTube? Are you feeling it? Are you not feeling it? I'm on YouTube at the same time. All right. So back to Archbishop Duncan Williams. How to contact you. What is that, to share your story or to take me on a date? I have to ask, babe, because I'm just never sure. I'm just pulling your leg. Message me on Leah Lauder 7 on TikTok or Leah.Lauder, my love. Do you want to share your story? That's absolutely fine. Oh my gosh, yeah, Morris Cerullo was another one, but he didn't talk about Morris Cerullo like that. But the reason why, because I went to a Morris Cerullo thing, yeah. Sorry guys, I just need to fix my thing. I actually went to a Morris Cerullo. Remember he used to do his little what are they, crusades or whatever they were, in Earl's Court. And you know, I'm local, I'm from West, innit? So I remember going to one because he's connected to Benny Hinn somehow, isn't he? Can you share those details? What details, babe? I'm not, you know, you have to go on my content, babe, because what details do you mean? Put it in the chat. Yeah, he didn't have a church. Yeah, you're right. He just used to come and do them. That's like Benny Hinn as well. You know, them man like Benny Hinn, yeah, they're smart. They don't have a church. They don't incur any costs all around the world. Benny Hinn is the biggest fraudster in mega church history. I used to think about when people came to the Crusades and they like gave their life or they had an encounter, or what would happen to those people? Because you know, and Caris, you'll be able, this will resonate with you as well, because you're my cousins. Everything's about like targets. Do you know what I mean? So you'll be thinking, oh, what happens to them afterwards? Do they have a church? Where do they go? But you know, these pastors, they're a bag of hypocrites, man. All they know is the prosperity gospel. That's all they know how to spew out of their mouth. They know nothing else. That's why they lack empathy. They don't have, there's no care. So they think I'm coming and destroying the churches. You're destroying the church because you're wicked. You got no empathy. You don't care about people. You gal in there, you're a bag of, oh God. You're the type of gal, and you were in the club. You know what you were doing. You're giving that vibe. That's why I had to stop going out to the club, because I was getting myself into too many situations with these hating ass bees. That's why I don't go clubbing, guys. I don't go. Because the gal don't take one look at me, see me looking fine. No, I can get any man in the club. So they all start hating because they're in there to pay their bills. I'm just coming to have fun. And obviously, I'm not one of them light-skinned, not light-skinned, well, that's how they will see me. Whatever girls, lighties, who's going to be all like, Aaron, no, babes, I'm ready anytime. So I just stay away from environments like that. But these are the kind of gal, it's that same energy, it's that same hate and vibe. You know, you go into the club and they all looking the same wigs, same fit, they just all look the same. So when I come in and I got my individual unique style, looking like a superstar, you Caris gal, that's you. Bag of haters, you give that same vibe, that same energy, and you know you're that. That's why you see, Caris gal them. It doesn't matter that I'm talking out about your pastor. You're using it as an excuse, bitch, because you lot all go there anyway. It's all for the man them. Do you know what I mean? So you lot are just hating on me because of what I stand for. It's what you can never be. Do you understand? And there's a lot of women like that in the church cult, and that's where we get the issues. That's why a lot of like pretty girls, they don't really last in these church cults, or they have to like dim their light. They have to like make themselves look less attractive. So what you'll see is that the prettiest girls in the church cult, yeah, they will be like plain Janes. That's what I did. I purposefully tried to make myself look butters so that I would be received and accepted as like the spiritual daughter of the house. All right, someone's asked me some questions. Guys, if you've got any questions on TikTok, please pin it. And YouTube, just to let you know, my loves, I am on TikTok and YouTube at the same damn time because I'm a boss. I have a brother in Christ at Caris. Ding, ding, ding. Caris, are you listening? This is from YouTube, my loves. So I'm doing two at the same damn time with YouTube, and I'm doing a little bit of cult exit stuff as well. Yeah, just to let you know, so you're all kept abreast. Caris, ooh, it is the Caris season. So many Caris survivors are leaving. In Christ at Caris, first time hearing it being a cult. I've heard all the others you've mentioned. Oh yeah, Caris is a big time cult. That's why I'm breaking it down, girl. Is mega church linked to Caris? Yes. Do you mean the mega church book? Everything's linked to Caris. Everything's linked to Caris. Because look at the way David's looking at Dag like it's his husband. And it's a side view. Sorry, guys, you don't have the picture. I've got a picture up here of David Antry. Basically, on my TikTok, I got a picture of David Antry with my cult leader Dag and his mess of a son, Joshua Eward Mills, a big time pred. And they're on the compound in Ghana. Because I think Dag anointed David. I think that's when he went out there, when he was going to receive the anointing. Caris people, am I correct? No, I don't think they're linked because David is looking at him. If you wait your turn, little man, I'm getting into it. So just be patient. Mods, who have I got? Mods, let me know. I'm shouting. Mods, let me know who's on deck. Who have I got? Because I'm eating my breakfast, so you Caris trolls, wait patiently, like you have to wait for your pastor. You know, like in these mega churches, especially in Caris, yeah. You know, they'll be like, oh, David, God 7 wants to see you. Oh my God, God 7 wants to see me. Oh, forgive, mercy, yes, please. Oh my God. And then they'll be waiting on Sunday all day, you know, for David. Service finished a long time. 7 p.m. gone. 8 gone, born again. 9 p.m. gone, born again. 10 p.m. gone, born again. People are there till 12. Waiting for David Antry. Then when David Antry comes now, he's not even saying, he hasn't done the appointment. He hasn't met with the person. They're just there all night waiting. Oh, it is a privilege to serve the Lord. You lot are, don't you get that they're taking the absolute PISS out of your life? They've turned you into like a lapdog. Oh my God, it's not even this bad on the streets, like in gangs. It's absolutely ridiculous. The level of control that they have over these members is mad. The reason why I was susceptible to cults here is because I was dating real gang members, not like you fake wanksters in the church cult. Do you know what I mean? And when you're dealing with a real GM, you know, like it will be the point where there's youngers and they'll be following me, like going around with me to the shop, like doing shit for me. That's why I'm like, you little young boys, I'm going to be 40, babes. And I was going up with guys older than me. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a control. Like these guys, when you're going out with them, you're so controlled. It's like guys won't even touch you. They won't even chat to you just because of who you're with. Like just the name carries weight. Do you understand? So you can't be going around doing whatever you want to do. And I'm saying that these cults are more controlling than gangs. Like proper gangs. I'm not talking about these fake wanksters in the church, because there's no gangsters in the church, baby. I was part of a cult before for 2 years and had 10 years roughly of PTSD. It started from me deconstructing my faith. Yeah. And I'm going to be doing sessions on the deconstructing of the faith. But I don't do it in the way that other people do, because I'm just not interested in deconstructing why Jesus isn't Lord. And, you know, because Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. Sorry, I'm not going to have anyone saying a bad word about Jesus Christ. Do you know what I mean? Because I will be ready. Unlike you, Caris, you little fake Caris people, yeah, you are ready to throw hands with me over David Antry, but not over your Lord Jesus Christ. Don't you understand? You're obsessed and you worship this man, bro. You're at work, your manager, your LGBTQ plus manager that you're kissing ass to because you want to get that promotion. They'll be talking about Jesus Christ in the office. You'll be sitting there laughing because you're fake. You're fake. You're fake. You're fake. You don't rep it for your Lord and Jesus Christ. But someone says something about God servant, because you're indoctrinated. You've been brainwashed, love. There's a program in your mind. So basically, they've indoctrinated you through the Fort Reform program, through the transcendent belief system, to keep you trapped in the self-sealing system. So it's almost like these little red ding, 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 ding alarm bells go off when you hear something disloyal about David Antry. I know that happens in your psyche because it's exactly the same programming that Dag Eward Mills has done to us. David Antry's a beg, so he's followed it. Yeah. And he doesn't need, like, all of the connections and everything that's cut, it comes through Dag Eward Mills. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's like they believe in this spiritual connection, that when you're connected with certain men of God, because remember, these fake pastors, they believe in spiritual fathers, they believe in mantle. Oh God, it's just absolute human fecal matter, man. It's absolute nonsense. It's rubbish. They believe in the mantle, catching the spirit, being connected to the pot. And David Antry's a beg, so he very much believes in that, and they all have spiritual fathers. Do you understand? So Dag is like that for David Antry. So there's a connection, there's a spirituality to it. But you, Caris Hughes, you won't know what the hell I'm talking about, because y'all just in there for some D. So you lot won't know what the hell I'm going on about. You won't know what the hell I'm talking about, child. You lot are in there for a husband and some babies. You lot don't give a damn about anything to do with Christ. Or it's just all about the D. I'm still a believer, but question a lot of things that I didn't question before. Yeah. I'm so glad I have a relationship with Jesus, not just Christian religion. Today it has hardly anything to do with, yeah. The thing is, I don't identify as a Christian because it's such a mess. I just believe in Jesus Christ, and I'm into, yeah, babe, I'm gonna get there. I'm into more of, like the parables, the hidden knowledge, so that I can seek within and find out how that resonates and what that means to me, because that's the secret. That's the coded Bible. The parables are the coded, but it's the code of the Bible. And so what's happened is, because it's like deep calleth unto deep, and the Holy Spirit, it has to be revealed through the Holy Spirit, the parables and what that means, etc. The mega church, because they don't understand about, they've missed it. They've missed the point, so they don't understand about going within. Everything's external, so that's why they build all their buildings. They make it about mega church. They make it about and Jay, if there is people that need to be blocked, please make sure that they're getting blocked and muted today, yeah, because I've already had a warning and had to restart the live, yeah. So if there are people that need to be blocked, if mods are you, if you are actively on here, or if you're on here and you're a survivor of Caris, and you see people on the live, go and look where it says 99 on the live, and you're seeing Caris members, please alert us so that mods can block them, because when they're on the live, there's a greater risk of the live being reported. From the FYP, they can't do it. But when they come into the box, they can do it. So as soon as you see a name pop up that says joined, and you know they're actively a Caris member, please let us know so that we can block. Yeah, that's what I'm on. That's what I'm on with Caris. There's no grace. There's no, oh, let them stay on and listen. There's nothing like that. They just need to get blocked. All right. So basically, let me go back to what I was saying now. So I wouldn't say that Archbishop Duncan Williams is Dag's spiritual father. He's never really said it like that, but because Dag and Archbishop Duncan Williams, they're just as bad as each other. So like, Dag understands and knows that Archbishop Duncan Williams is only effing with him because he's made it. But because he's in his wounded masculine energy, and he's got like a lot of daddy issues, he's always wanted that acceptance and that validation from Archbishop Duncan Williams, because he started in his church and then he rejected him, and Dag's felt rejected his whole life, and he used to tell us that. But he used to say, oh, I don't have anything bad against Duncan Williams anyway. I love him because but Dag knows he did him dirty, but they've like met their match, because they're both just as wicked as each other. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mr. Amawaz block, he's heavy in Caris. Are you not seeing this? Mods, are you on it? Are you on it? Are you blocking them? Just block them. They're going to show their ass now. That's what I wanted to do, draw them out. Guys, just, are my mods on deck? Who the hell is on here? Elita, are you here? Okay, Talia, Black Girl Mind. All right, wicked. Just keep telling us, guys. Just keep telling us so they can get blocked. So, yeah, he was always looking for that validation. So when the church started to bust, and I have got a breaker now, we'll be fixing it. I've been doing some betting. So when the church started to bust, and he started to like grow the church, because remember, it took Dag like time to build. Archbishop Duncan Williams has been set since like the late 90s to early 2000s. Archbishop Duncan Williams in the mega church cult, he's a goat. They all worship him like in Ghana. And the thing is, because Dag had built that relationship and he had that thing with Archbishop Duncan Williams, do you understand? It's like he was then seen as like an elitist, and then he's got an obsession with Benny Hinn. So when he started moving around Benny Hinn, Pastor Chris, do you know what I mean? Oyedepo, Archbishop, that's why I've got that photo with the four of them in it, because David Antwi could never be in that photo. He could never sit with them. He's just not that, unfortunately, Caris. Do you know what I mean? He's got like, he's still renting a little hotel in Hilton. He has not, David Antwi doesn't know how to manage his finances. That's what I just heard in the spirit. You're going to be like, oh, what spirit is she listening to? Okay, well, we'll see. But I don't think David Antwi's the best with managing finances, and Awo doesn't look like she helps. Awo looks like she lacks some money. Because why haven't you been able to buy a building? Look how many years it is. Or maybe he's buying his own buildings, like building his little empire in Ghana. These cult leaders love to have their property. They love to have their property portfolio, boy. But anyway, so David Antwi doesn't own a church building. He hasn't got more than, I don't know, like he hasn't, David Antwi hasn't got what it takes to be a church planter and to grow churches. He just hasn't. He sent Timothy. Where did he send Timothy? Caris, can you help me? You know Timothy from Chatham? Very abusive man. He sent him to Rwanda. Was it Rwanda where he's gone to start a little church? So David Antwi's been trying to send people out to different places. It just hasn't worked. He just hasn't got that anointing. He's just here for the UK and that's about it. So he's tried to historically do that. So what I'm trying to explain to you is he's not okay. Mods, look at what the survivors are saying, please. And make sure you're giving the full names and just block them up. They'll have to. Do you know what? Put in the work. If you want to be on here and you want to be preying and doing up whatever, put in the work. Go and create a new account. That's what I'm making you do because I'm mother. So your main account's getting blocked. You have to go create another account for your inconvenience. Guys, honestly, it's tiring. It's like managing little kids, you know, on the TikTok. It's absolutely crazy. They're just a bunch of kids and you can feel it with their energy. They're just a bag of youths. It's mad, absolute madness. Caris do really recruit them young. So I'm going to give you a few like criteria or a few points. Let me see how long I've got, guys. All right, you've got me for half an hour more. I'm going to give you a few criteria, a few points as to what these so to be like a mega church, like pastor, like a great man of God, to be seen as a giant, because these guys, Archbishop Duncan Williams, Dag Mills, Benny Hinn, Oyedepo, Pastor Chris, they are considered as giants of the faith. They're considered as giants because they have, like I said, my cult leader's got 3,000 branches worldwide, but he lies. Thanks, babe. Dag lies because out of those 3,000 branches, there's only in some branches that he could have a frigging branch in, I don't know, Wagadudu, and there's only 20 people in there, but he considers that as a branch. Like some other churches, they wouldn't even consider it as a branch; they consider it as a cell. So Dag is very delusional, and he's a liar, and he's a deceiver. He's very deceptive. So a lot of those churches, they wouldn't even be considered as a church. Do you get it? But and that's why he wrote the Mega Church book. Because in the mega church book, he states in the mega church book that a mega church, it can be 25 people because it's hard to get people. So he considers a mega church to be 25 people. That is why, and I'm going to just take like 3 days out this week to just pump out all the content. There's going to be a lot of content coming out from me, yeah, on YouTube and TikTok. And it's this whole ideology that you're moving in faith. So when I use the term mega church, it doesn't have to be a big church. That's not what it's about. It's the ethos. It's the vision to create a church. Because remember, they believe in the health, wealth, and prosperity gospel. So they believe that money is going to fall out of the sky. Do you know what I mean? Like they give they go and sell their house and give their entire savings. Oh, the Lord's going to bless them 100-fold. And they'll be unalived, waiting on the return of that. Do you understand? So it's this ideology. So the giants of the faith, yeah, they are considered as men who have they have to have many branches around the world, and they have to have thousands of people. So you see, Dag does campaigns, Jesus healing campaigns. So he goes out and there's but he's so fake. It's mystical manipulation. He'll go to huts, you know, remote villages in Africa, and then he's done it in South America, but never in England. So he's just fake. He's fake. Listen, anyone could go to these. I could bloody well go to Wagadudu. Do you know what I mean? Just as I am now, if I saved $3,000 just for this, I could go to Wagadudu, go and put up a tent, and I draw just as many people as Dag because they're desperate. Let's just be honest. They haven't got anything out there. They don't have roads. They don't have an airport. That's why he has to take the trucks and the vans out there. So he knows what he's doing. He knows he's going to draw the crowds because people are desperate. Lindy, what did you want to come on and say, girl? Because I'm on YouTube, so I'm not taking any guests for the first. I will in a bit, but not right now. There's just so much information. So what I need you to understand is a giant of the faith is a completely different level, because you've got the pecking order. You've got the Benny Hinns, the Oyedepos, the Pastor Chris, the billionaires, the billionaire pastors. You can even put Adair Macedo in there as well. You get me, from UCKG. Do you see when we're blocking, the live is fine? You need to block them, guys. Yeah? They're at the top. They're considered as giants of the faith because they've got church cults worldwide, all over the world. They've got big churches. They've got buildings. You've got to have buildings that you own to be a giant. You've got to have thousands of branches to be considered a giant. They're called giants of the faith. yeah? And then when we go historically, the Kenneth E. Hagans, the Creflo Dollars, the T.D. Jakes, they are considered as giants of the faith that have made it, you know, into the mainstream, like televangelists, like they're known. That's what's considered as a giant. And Dag Heward-Mills has had an obsession with being a giant of the faith for years, going back to like early 2000s, from before in the 90s and the 80s, yeah? So much so that, yeah, they're on deck, they're on it. Mods, you know I love you. Because we've just had too many restrictions, too much reporting. So with Caris, we've got to be very on it. And mods, I'm going to set up a meeting for us, if that's okay. I think I'm going to do that on Sunday, mods, because I don't want to say on the live, but we've got to do some thinking around strategy and stuff. So all my main mods, I'm going to be contacting you, yeah? Because when I'm going in for Caris next week, we need to have strategy, because they're strategists, yeah? All right, brilliant. And even if you're not a mod, but you want to be a mod, message me, because you know you can be on it. So I need you to understand, David is not that. He's not a giant. He's not. He's like Jack in the Beanstalk. Imagine like trying to climb the beanstalk to get to the top, to meet the giant at the top of the beanstalk. That's what David is. He's no way a giant. David doesn't even own one building for himself here as a church. Do you know what I mean? He's just sent out Timothy the other day to Rwanda, and another guy somewhere in Africa. Like he doesn't have that. Do you know what I mean? And he's been around. Caris has been around since 2003, but again, David likes money, and so does Awo. So they've always moved a bit different. Like Caris have always worn like, you know, like more liberal, I would say, clothes. That's why you don't think Caris is worse. It's not. It's not. Because back in my day, you lot, a lot of the people who are coming that are saying, "Oh, Caris," you lot were in First Love for 5 minutes, 5 years, 2 years, 3 years. So you weren't there. The reason why Caris seems more radical than First Love is because Dag is a granddad now. He's in his 60s, babe. He's too old for all that. David Antry's 50. He's younger than Dag. He's got more stamina. His church is younger. It started in 2003. It's been around for 20 years. My church has been around for well over 30 years. So they're about 13 to 15 years behind. So the reason why I'm able to expose Caris so much is because they're at the stage where my cult was at. That's why it's seeming worse, because he's trying to build the church, expand the church, send people out, missionaries to go and start this and that. So he's in that development where he was moving into trying to become a giant, because that's what their dream is. You know, they've got these narcissists, and that's why the mega church structure, the systems, how it's all set up is very appealable to narcissists. Their supply, their ego, and then the drive, you know, like the competition, the drive to become this giant. But David, you never will be. You haven't got what it takes, babe. You never have. Probably your dad told you that. That's why you are the way you are. I think there was a very dysfunctional relationship with his dad. Does anybody know? And Lindy, I'm going to bring you in about 5 minutes, Queen. I'm just on YouTube. So if I pull you up on the live, baby, they're not going to be able to hear you, and it's just going to be a whole mess. Yeah? I'm going to pull you up after, my love. Does anyone know what the background of David Antry's dad is? Ooh. Do spill the tea on the origins of Caris and how it became a cult and others' testimonies. Oh yeah, I'm going to start doing content on YouTube for Caris as well, because anytime I talk about my cult, I'll be talking about Caris now, because they're our cousins. And that's what David Antry wanted after all, wasn't it? He wanted to be just like Dag, didn't you, David? So I'm going to make it my absolute, I don't know, how should I say it, call in life, to make sure that every time I talk about Daggy, I make sure I talk about you. All right, so where are we up to? So I think you got a vibe of how the mega church is. So when I'm talking about Caris and I'm talking about David like this, it's not me putting them down. It's just the truth. You lot are liars and the truth ain't in you, man. Come on, there's a pecking order in the mega church. Like there's a pecking order with gangs. Like there's a pecking order with GMs. Like there's a pecking order with the roads. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? It's exactly the same in the mega church. They're high control groups, baby. It's exactly the same structure. So David is not that in it. I see David as just the same as myself. Someone who followed Dag. He's taken the doctrine, he's ran with it, he's incorporated it into his church cult. Yes, I will be exposing UCKG. He's just ran with it, done whatever, and then we have what we have today, Caris, which is a remix bootleg version of First Love and Mustard Seed, okay? And the reason why these kind of churches are seen as like sister cults, and they're not like they're seen as sister cults, is because as you know, like in my cult, especially back in the day, like they didn't want us to mix with Caris, but because David's such a beg, it's like they wouldn't have connected themselves with a church like Caris, because they wear a lot of makeup, they used to have the outfits that were all made, they wouldn't hit up. But because David's such a beg, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because you've got to beg it with Dad. You've got this guy, yeah. Oh my God. Okay. The best way for me to describe this is going to be that because of the pecking order, Dag is seen as a giant of the faith. So in order for you to break through and get into the echelons, like to get into the system, you've got to be a beg. That's how it works in the mega church. There's a pecking order. The ones that are the fathers of the faith, whatever, you've got to be licking their ass. So what you see the pastors doing is learned behavior. The members are copying it. So like how David will come begging it, you know, oh, Dag is a great man of God. My ministry would be nothing if it wasn't for Dag. They have to teach their members what to do to them. So what they believe in is this doctrine of like honoring. It's like when you honor the pastor, when you bless them with substance, it will come back to you. When you bless them, like the fake humility, like it's all a load of human fecal matter. It's absolute rubbish. It's just to feed the narcissist and the ego, and it's a supply. That's all it is. Because narcissists, they do things for themselves. So if they're teaching you, they've got to teach you how to honor, aka worship, and they can't do it with themselves because that would look stupid, wouldn't it? So they've got to choose someone to do that with so that they can show you how you should honor them, because that's what they do for someone else. And then you've got people are getting blocked left, right, and center. That's what literally why in this situation you see that you've got these men being absolute begs. They have absolutely no identity outside, and a lot of them, it's just been like regurgitated. Do you know what I mean? Pentecostalism, very high level exposure, very culty, abusive churches that they've been in. And then when you bring the kind of like the Africanized, whitey, supremacist, colonialist, slave master mindset into the mix, and you put it all in the pot and we mix it around, it just becomes absolutely lethal. Absolutely lethal. So I'm going to go back to the historical context of this, why I started talking about Caris. Then I'm going to go into, and I will be back on later, guys, because I'm going to continue doing some painting. So it's going to be painting with Leah for the lunch time of that. So I'll be exposing Caris and painting at the same damn time because I'm a boss. Yeah. I don't know who that is, girl. I don't know who Dr. Abel Demeanor is. So the reason why I started exposing Caris historically is, so bearing all of that in mind, yeah, what I need you to understand is Dag Mills, my cult leader, he's not going to let anyone come in the church. He's got rules like, oh God, Holy Spirit, please help me to do this justice and explain exactly what I'm saying. All right, so the structure of my cult is that even if you've been a pastor for 20 years, you could have been a pastor in Caris, KICC, wherever for 20 years, you could have been training there, ministering, whatever. You come into Lighthouse, you come into First Love, you come into Mustard Seed, you come into Pleasant Surprises. It doesn't count. That's what Daggy says. It doesn't count because he has got a special knowledge, being the prophet of God, and he's written loads of books. He's written the Macaro's, maybe 66 books. So my cult leader has loads of books. So what he says is, if you haven't read his books, you haven't done the pastor's training, you haven't done the exams. Yes, we take exams on his books. Yes, as a normal church worker, not to become a pastor, not to do nothing, just as a normal church worker, you have to be doing up the exams on the books and you have to do the schools. So what he says is, even if you're a pastor for 20 years, you will start in New Believers School. New Believers School, you know. That's the school that they put people, you know, when they come for the first time and give their lives. So they got to go through the whole process. New Believer School, all four of the schools: School of Solid Foundation, School of Apologetics. What's the other one? School of the Word. You get me? They got to go through all of that, and then after that, now they got to prove themselves and start from the bottom. Do you understand? Oh, he's the same. Okay. You got to start from the bottom and work your way up. So what that's telling you is that's the elitism. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, and I think Queen Anne said this. What he's done is he's put in like this psychological ideology, yeah, that basically like he is the prophet of God. He's been given special knowledge, special information, you know, that only he can hear from God. And so we have to follow the man of God. We have to do what he says in order to be able to have that connection and that communication with God. Another thing that I want to put in here is the fear. They use in fear a lot. So what they'll be doing up is saying, oh, if you go to another church, you don't know what they're going to be teaching. You'll go to hell. He's acting like, you know, he's this great prophet of God and he hears from God. So when he says something, it happens. Like life and unalivement is in the power of this prophet. My mum uprooted us and told me it's because they are a cult, and it's true. The praise that they praise Antry more. Oh, I'm so glad that your mum left. Oh, okay, babe. So your mum was one of the OGs like me, babe. Oh, tell that queen I said bonjour, because I know a lot of the OGs like my age that were there for 10 years, 14 years. I have been speaking with them. Oh, yes, I have been. but they're just trying to process so much. Do you know what I mean? And you Caris people, you tried to call my blood. You thought I was just chatting until I put out the footage of your members on the train with the religious psychosis, and now you lot are shaking in your boots because you don't know what recordings I've got. You don't know who the moles are, because I've got moles. I've got moles in 3 of your branches. You don't know who the moles are. You don't know who's feeding me information. You don't know who you can trust. You don't know who you can't trust. David Antry, you better get out that loyalty and disloyalty book, baby. Go. You might be a bit rusty. You might have to, verse yourself with what's going on in that loyalty and disloyalty book, David. Do you know what I mean? All right, I'm going to answer a few questions on YouTube, guys, because RFS Table is such a king or queen that they are just putting so much on here. The shepherding movement, I think, started it most. Yes, Queen. And part of I think that was it the Jesus movement? Oh, I can't remember. I think it was the Jesus movement. One of the pioneers and giants of the faith actually started that shepherding movement, Derek Prince. And I thought this was really, really crazy to see the correlation between my pastor's obsession with Derek Prince, Kenneth E. Hagin, and they're big time players in this fake prosperity teaching. Kenneth E. Hagin is the one responsible for the 100-fold blessings. And if you haven't seen my videos on the horrible histories of the mega church, please go and watch it. It's on my main page, Leah Lauder 7, and I basically expose Freemasonry roots, mysticism, all of the roots and the lineage of Christianity, the offshoot cults, and the school that they went to and I don't have anything against mystics, or I don't think that's evil or whatever, but it's when you use it for the intent of evil and darkness and wickedness, and that's what they've used to control people and to incite, because manifestation is okay if you're doing it at an individual level. You're trying to manifest a new love to come in. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If you think manifestation is witches and new age, then think that. But then that makes your pastor a witch and a warlock. Especially David Antry, because Joel Osteen, literally, the book The Secret. Joel Osteen is a big time manifester, bitch. Do you know what I'm trying? Joel Osteen is more new age than he is Christian. So you lot need to go and sit somewhere, because that little thing that you lot say, that little speech, that little ritual that David makes you say, it's exactly the same as Joel Osteen. Because Lenita came on here the other day and exposed it. I discovered a pastor and his wife try and bring in students from Glasgow University. Yeah, that's what they do, babe. They recruit in the unis, but I'm going to just stick to the topic, What was I talking about? Yeah, so the shepherding movement. So Derek Prince was one of the 3 guys that started that shepherding movement. Then he came out to recant it and say that it's so abusive. It's been so detrimental to Christianity. He takes it back. He denounces it. He doesn't think anybody should do it again. But it's too late. It's been too late by then, because all of it is embedded in the mega church doctrine. If you don't believe me, go and Google it up. The shepherding movement. Derek Prince renounced the teachings. But it's been embedded, it's in the fabrics of the megachurch. So what they do is they come and they put in their lethal, dangerous, rubbish doctrine that's coming from the ego. It's coming from a very egotistical realm in the soul. Do you understand? They come and they splare it out, and because they're indoctrinating everyone to see these men like God, they're worshiping them like God himself. They're just sitting there lapping it up. Then when these men come and say, "Oh, I made a mistake," like Benny Hinn's such a fraud. He's such a crook. He came to come and say, "Oh, he renounces, what was it? Some teaching or something. Was it about the 100-fold blessing or whatever rubbish he was talking about?" 2 months later, he's out there doing exactly the same thing. I think he's sowing the seed to get blessings. He renounced it. Then 2 months later, he's out there doing the same, because that's all he knows. He's addicted. He's a druggie. And that's how they make us. They make us addicted to it. The same way they are. The kick, the adrenaline, the supply. They need it. They need to put on these events. They need to put on these camps. That's why they want us in the church all the time. They're feeding off your energy. Don't you understand? It's like when you're in a relationship. Like, remember I was saying to you guys that I feel like, sorry, I'm just talking to TikTok. Like when I was saying to you guys that I feel like in relationships I've seen a reoccurring pattern where it's like these guys try and, I don't know, like siphon me, like they try and keep me in this bubble where they're like trying to feed off my energy. It's really weird. I've noticed that with friends, and I've also noticed that with guys, and I think they do that in the church cult as well. It's like because guys, you know what, we don't know the truth. We know indoctrination, we have religion, we don't know the truth, we don't really understand the spiritual anatomy, the makeup. Because guys, think about it, if we're learning about the skeleton, the brain, and how important it is to know that in medicine to save people's life, don't you think we need to understand the spiritual anatomy of the body as well? Don't you think there's a spiritual, don't you think there's a mind science, like a spiritual science to the makeup of who we are? our soul and our spirit. Like, where does the talking come from? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do we speak? Guys, come on, it's 2024, man. You have to leave these mega church who's to do what they want, because they're just not going to be brought into the new world that we're going into, unfortunately. And the guys, I don't think they will survive. That's why they have to stay trapped in their little self-sealing systems with these cult leaders, because guys, there's a lot of people, if they were to leave tomorrow, they just wouldn't survive. They just wouldn't survive mentally. But back to this heavy shepherding. So the shepherding movement is called heavy shepherding. Yeah, it's the rebuke. It's where the rebuke out of love, control. You have to do what the pastor says. It's very much. That's the heavy shepherding, and that's how people get broken down psychologically. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's that thing that we're doing it out of love. We're abusing you out of love. We're rebuking you out of love. We're rebuking you in the name of Jesus. What? Do you know I've got a recording here that a survivor sent me from RPF? And it's a girl who sent this survivor a recording, and she just sounds like she's in a religious psychotic episode. And you know when someone's sending a voice message and they're talking to the person, but they're talking to themselves in the voice note. It was the strangest thing I'd ever heard. And in the voice note, she's like convincing herself that Pastor Austin is rebuking her out of love and the abuse. She needs it. She needs it to be a good Christian. She needs that rebuke. She needs that abuse to be able to do the work. And oh my God, it's absolutely. And again, I could share that tomorrow and it would finish him. But again, it's me saying this is a very vulnerable girl. I don't even want to get emotional. She's so young. She sounds like she's under 18. And it's at this point where I need to look at safeguarding the young. But I don't have that same ethos for Caris. Everyone's getting exposed because Caris is a different level. It's like my cult. So I don't give a damn. They're getting any type of information that comes in is getting exposed. I could get a footage of David doing something he's not supposed to. I'm exposing it. Everything's getting exposed. I don't give a damn. There's absolutely nothing there that's going to stop me from sharing anything to do with Caris. That thing with David Antry is personal because it's personal to God. Guess what? I don't know David Antry. I've never stepped a foot in Caris a day in my life. I don't need to. This is about how God feels about David Antry, and he's not happy. And David Antry can go on there on his pulpit and chat his chat and talk his talk every Sunday, doing up whatever he wants to do. But you know what? God knows. God sees all of these men in secret, and that's why they're all getting exposed. Let me just answer a few more questions on YouTube, guys, because I don't want them to feel neglected. And then I'm going to go YouTube in like 2 minutes, just because my battery's going to unalive and I need to save the live. Question. Thanks for all your question, RFS tables. I've enjoyed you. Make sure you always come on my lives because I love questions. If I referred you to someone in First Love, would you be able to speak to them? Girl, I don't do that. My role is to not get anyone out of the cult, girl, and I don't reach out to survivors. If they want to speak to me, then yeah, but I'm not going to be going back and forth as to why Dags this or that. I need people who are actively ready to come out. When they're ready to come out, then I provide cult exit, post cult exit support, yeah, and crisis intervention cult exit support. That's what I do. If they're ready to come out and they're ready to, then I'll speak to them. I'm not here to convince anyone to leave a cult. I'm not Jesus Christ and I'm not God, and I don't believe that I have that power. But maybe because maybe because I do demonstrate real humility in understanding and knowing the power of God, that is why what I'm saying probably has impact and effectiveness. But you know, the cult, they think it's all about man, all external, it's all about them. Oh, you liked that one, Lover B. Thank you, girl. Do you know what I mean? So they've got it all wrong, girl. So if they want to talk about how to exit the cult, or they've got questions of concerns, or I'll speak to them. But I'm not speaking to anyone to convince them to come out of the cult. I just don't have that energy, girl. And I'm not going to give my energy to, because look at me, I'm going to be 38, babe, and I look great. I can't be getting wrinkles and, do you know what I mean, like bags and, you know, stressing myself about getting people out of the cult, babes. No, man. I'm not doing that up, babe, because I've got to live my life as well. That's why, guys, I'm going to start dating again. That's what I've decided. The cults are when pastors are becoming our Moseses. Yes, I will agree, actually. Fake Moses, fake, because they didn't hear from God, so they're fake. I did a video with a sister of 67 things to identify if your cult really helped, if you're in a cult. Oh, it really helped a lot of people. Oh, okay. I've done a lot of content though, babe, but I'm on TikTok. I've done a lot of content. Have you thought about using Clubhouse? Ooh. Oh, you're a guy. Oh, sorry, King. Oh, okay. No, I haven't. But I will look into it. But I have everything, babe. I've got Discord. He doesn't know. I've got like 7 accounts on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Discord. I've got Twitter. I've got everything, child. I can't even keep up. There was even another one I downloaded the other day. I can't actually keep up. And guys, I'm going to be reaching out to survivors like Aura, Angela, like main people about helping me to send this letter off to the university now. Another thing, oh, you're intrigued. Oh, thanks, Loverby. Another thing that I want to do as well, guys, is I want to do a separate letter for Caris, because you know before I mentioned Caris and RPF, but I just feel like it needs individual letters. So I'm gonna do a letter, like an email, letting the university campuses know that Caris is also on campus. So I'm going to kind of use the same letter, but just edit it. Oh, we might as well do it on the live, because I got a lot of Caris about a lot of Caris trolls on the FYP. All right, YouTube, I'm going to wrap it up. And if you want to come on TikTok, because I'm going to be on TikTok for another 10 minutes. So I'm on my account, leah.lauder. So if you want to come and join us on our TikTok live for an extra 10 minutes, please do come over. RFS tables, you should come on TikTok as well, girl, King, because I do a lot on there. It's very interactive. Oh, Chrissy, you're happy to help. All right. Okay. Chrissy, message me, because we need to even meet up. Block Tenor, an active member in RPF. Oh, I love this. You lot, Block Tenor. And survivors, thank you so much for calling out the people that need to be blocked, because this is how we protect our space. Yesterday, we weren't aware that there were so many active Caris members on the live. That's why the live got locked off, yeah? So we need to make sure they don't get in the space, because I clocked they have to be inside to be able to report. So you need to keep telling us who they are so that we can block them immediately so they don't have a chance. All right, so guys, I'm going to end it. My name's Leah Lauder. I'm a mega church cult survivor, turned social justice activist and deprogrammer. Please subscribe to my YouTube account, follow and share and like. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next time. I'll see you on Saturday, actually. I'll come on Saturday. Wow.